Let's go! We are Safe First. Now before you start working with Safe First, you gotta go through safety orientation. Since you gotta do it, we might as well have fun. Look, I can promise you this will be your favorite safety orientation you've ever experienced. Wait, where'd the music go? Does that mean I need to shut up and start training? Safe First.
Wow. So we got Brandon Glenn here from Safe First, husband, father, entrepreneur, right? Retired/resigned firefighter, and you're president of your company, and most of all, you're a Christian, bro. You're a believer, right?
Correct. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. I'm super honored to have you here, and we met like maybe a month ago,
Maybe just a little bit over a month ago. Yeah.
right? So we met, and we're kind of following each other on LinkedIn a little bit, and I was like attracted to the stuff you liked. You were looking for positive type post, and and obviously you're in the construction industry, which I am, right?
Yeah.
And you're in the safety industry, which we need more of,
Yeah. Totally.
right? And so, like, what got you into safety, Brandon?
So, a little bit interesting of a story how I got into actually being a safety consultant. I had a torn ACL. I was out on the fire department, so I was working a 40-hour job. And one of my best friend's dads is a higher up on a big construction development company. They build multifamily apartments. And he handed me a flyer to hand out to people. And he's like, hey, ask anybody on the fire department if they want to do a side job. They're going to do safety inspections on some apartment jobs. And I was like, well, dude, I'm not working right now. I need some extra money because I can't work overtime. I gave the guy a call, and the rest is history. And that was back in 2013 when that happened.
So you started in 2013 with a side job.
With a side job.
And what was that first side job? What'd you do?
So I went to 2 job sites, and I did the most horrible safety inspections that anybody could possibly do. And somehow started figuring stuff out. I didn't have any formal training. I didn't have any experience. So all I did was started going online, doing my research, learning about stuff. But the biggest thing that I did, Chris, is I just built relationships with the guys in the field so they can help me out with stuff.
Yeah.
And it seemed to be the most beneficial decision that I made as far as doing any of that stuff.
Okay. So we know you're in a safety game. Tell me a little bit about your upbringing. Where you came from. How your childhood was a little bit. I just want to know a little bit more about you, and I think like your audience and my audience would want to know about you is because you didn't get to where you are just overnight. Where'd you start? How'd that look for you?
Yeah, so I grew up down the street from here. Actually, I grew up in Central Phoenix on 35th Avenue and Cactus.
Okay.
I was raised by a single mom. One of the biggest lessons that she taught me, and it's the cliche topic that everybody talks about, but she instilled hard work in me from a very young age. She worked at a local motel right by Metro Center Mall, and she got up in the morning, went to work, and came back late at night. And not only did I admire that, but obviously you learn from your surroundings. And I saw that she was willing to do whatever it took to take care of her kids. So I wanted to follow suit, So high school went a little bit challenging for me. I got kicked out of high school, ended up having to get my GED.
Which high school was that?
Moon Valley High School.
Okay, Moon Valley. Is that on Cactus too?
35th and Cactus.
By the park.
By the park.
Yeah.
So that was a big learning lesson for me. But I knew when I was in high school, I played sports, hung around the wrong crowd, hung around some really good kids as well. But I knew I wanted to be a fireman. I knew I wanted to be a Phoenix fireman. So I kind of strategically placed myself like, man, this isn't for me. I was already working jobs. I was already kind of in the workforce when I was 14 years old. I started working. So I'm like, man, I'm going to try to just start going to Glendale Community College. You don't need a high school diploma to just go to college and take classes. So I started doing that. And next thing you know, man, I got into the fire service. I just, hustled for a couple years and got the opportunity to work.
So did you take fire science?
I took my EMT, my fire science 1 and 2, and I got all my prerequisites done so I can test for any fire department in in Arizona. And that's what I was doing. I was testing for any fire department I could.
Wow. What grade were you when you got you got kicked out of high school?
Yeah, I got kicked out of high school when I was in 12th grade.
So your last year.
My last year.
So you could have totally like tried to finish it, and you're just like, I'm done.
I was just done.
Yeah.
I was done. I was like, this isn't for me. I wasn't a great student. I didn't love sitting in class. I always, was imagining and trying to do other things, and I was ditching and skipping class and doing whatever else. So I was like, well, why am I going to try to finish it out,
Yeah. So you were like 17, 18?
17 years old.
Wow. What's funny is Moon Valley. So one time I got in trouble and got arrested and got sent to the police station right across the street.
Yeah.
There's that little police station.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was like 15, bro, and my stepdad had to go and get me. So forever I just remember that whole area just because of that moment. That's cool. Like, I like the fact that like you didn't quit. Like a lot of people, they get kicked out of school and they use that as an excuse. And you're like, nah, I'm gonna just go to college. And I'm gonna go after this dream of becoming a firefighter.
Yeah.
And so you became a firefighter at what, like 2021 or what?
21.
Yeah. And then so how'd that look? Becoming a firefighter, like, was that exciting? Was that everything it was played out to be?
So I was I would consider myself very immature when I was 21 years old for being.
Bro, I think everybody
for
is
being an adult. And I learned a lot those first few years in the fire service, being around older guys, not growing up with a dad. You needed to glue to somebody and have some mentorship to really turn you into a man.
Mm-hmm.
And being in the fire department, as long as you kind of surrounded yourself by the right people, you were going to learn those tools you needed to be successful and not be arrogant, not be confident, but be confident in your training and work hard and keep a good attitude and learn how to be a team player. And basically all the skills that you need to be an entrepreneur, you can learn in the fire service. Wow. You just have to pivot it.
So you're which were you you said Glendale?
City of Phoenix.
Phoenix. Which house were you at?
So I was a rover for the majority of my career.
Okay.
And I left out of Cave Creek in the 101. So in North Phoenix, that was the last station I was working at.
So rover, you're just kind of bouncing around a little bit.
You call the chief in the morning and they send you to whatever station you need to go to.
Oh, wow. Okay. So at what point, like, did you realize, like, this is not for me?
So I saw an opportunity. It was probably like 2016, 2017 was when I started really like having that feeling like, man, I really want to gain some freedom. I wanted to impact more people. And if I really wanted to try to make the safety game into something, I couldn't invest 24 hours of time during the week at the fire station because it's almost impossible to be productive when you're stuck at the fire station. I would do computer work and I would take phone calls and I would do all of that stuff. But for me, the big deal was, I started doing a lot of shift trades. I started using vacation time. I started using sick time to run my business. And I was like, hey, if I was a business owner right now, I wouldn't want my employee to be doing what I'm doing to the city of Phoenix. So my wife basically was like, hey, you work all the time anyways. You have 3 kids. So let's start discussing what the game plan is,
I'm glad you said that because, like, I try to tell people that today is, like, really balance when they want to start a business. One is I say balance the work life, as to starting the business, but be honest to the owner or the boss, right? And I tell people this, I'm like, the last thing you want is to be this liar that's stealing time and you hire that same person later.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm glad you said that because I literally like preach that to young entrepreneurs. Like, don't freaking steal from your boss. Like, you don't have to necessarily tell them everything you're doing, but you got to be trustworthy with your time while you're there.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm glad you said that,
Well, one of the things, and I was still by myself at this time, I wrote my core values down for when I was just worked by myself. I was in a coaching group and they were preaching on core values. And, obviously it's very common nature to have integrity as one of your core values for your business. Right.
Yeah.
And as I was writing it, I just remember like dude, this isn't the person that I am. You know, I was gaining a poor reputation from taking so much time off on the fire department. People were always questioning, you know, if I was committed or not. And, you know, mind you, I was still doing my job at a high level. I was in shape physically, mentally, emotionally. I was good. But it's like, I can't say that this is a core value of mine and then continue to run this game on the city when I knew it wasn't the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's really good you recognize that. Like, I think you recognizing that it has helped you become a great owner, an entrepreneur as you are now. You know, because most of the people that don't recognize it and they keep that mentality and that mindset of, well, they're making more money than me and they can afford it, you know. And it's, I call it a thievery of time. You're stealing the time. Right?
Yeah, totally.
But that mindset still goes with that person as they become an entrepreneur. So now what happens is a lot of people, they stole this person's time, and then so they stole the boss's time, right, as they're starting a thing, but then they start stealing their employees' time.
Yeah. Right.
And so I don't believe you to be doing that at all because you gave that up at that point. You know what I mean? What's crazy is you're like, hey, I want to be a firefighter. I want to save lives. And then a few years later, you're like, hey, I want to get in the safety game because I want to save lives.
Totally. Yeah. I think God has a plan for everybody. And, you know, this is something that I feel like I can make a huge impact in the construction community. And we've had really great results. My team is amazing. They bought on to what we're trying to accomplish. And we've had a lot of great success, and it's been a fun journey. And I'm so happy every day I wake up and I'm hungry and I'm ready to go and I'm starving for more and I want to make a bigger impact and I want to serve people. And that's what the goal is. It's not to just like make money, you know, go golfing during the day and have all this free time. I want to be busy doing things that I'm going to make a positive impact in people's lives. And this is the opportunity for me to do that for people. And I genuinely in my heart believe that.
Yeah. Like I was telling you about, you know, that John Maxwell quote, the goal is more important than the role.
Yeah.
Because like you said, is the goal is to impact people, to teach people, to grow, to learn, and, you know, push that onto your team. And in order to get that goal set, we have to know that our ego is not part of that. You know what I mean? Like we have to set ourselves aside and say, okay, what's the goal?
Yeah.
You know, that's why I don't put like CEO on my title. I mean, some of the paperwork says it, but like if you look me up, you're going to see CEO.
Yeah.
I think I just changed my title on LinkedIn to like team manager or something.
Yeah.
Like it's silly, but
Chris, the project manager.
Yeah. Or something like people call me like, you want to be hired? I'm like, no, I don't know, you know, because it's the goal. What's the goal? So like my role and your role, you know, it's important, right? But the goal is more important. You know what I mean? Because if we're going to get our teams where we want them to get to and where they want to get to, we have to kind of set our egos back, you know?
Totally. So for me, you know, one of the big things that I try to do with my team is the foundation is I want them to believe in, and I call it a mission. I don't call it like my goal, but our mission is to eliminate injuries and accidents from happening on construction sites and all of our clients' employees. Mm-hmm. So I can't pretend like, hey, this is what my goal is. I need to be able to communicate that with them and make them buy into what the mission is. Mm-hmm. And once they buy it in, then they're going to be able to go out on their job sites. They're going to be able to make a bigger impact because they know that's what our mission is.
Is that part of your, like, do you have a mission statement? Is that in your mission statement?
That is my mission statement. It's right there. Safe First Corporations determined to eliminate worker illness and injuries by providing our clients with all the necessary and required tools to operate a successful health and safety program.
Yeah, I love it. And so we have recently acquired your services.
Yeah,
right?
Thank you.
I'm super excited, bro. Like, you know, we were working with another company and, you know, we met and, you know, I thought we could do better. I think we already have. I mean, you're outside, you guys are doing, first aid classes for us and CPR classes and OSHA classes and scissor lift classes. And you guys, do that those kind of classes and offer those classes to everybody, right? All your customers.
Yeah, all of our clients, it's not one person gets one thing, the other gets the other. We do everything across the board. I'm not in the business like, hey, if you want this, it's going to be X amount more dollars. We're part of your team. And when I'm part of your team, we're going to do whatever we need to make sure everybody's successful and safe, instead of me trying to nickel and dime people, me trying to make a quick buck. I would rather me and you work together for the next 20 years than you're like, oh, I'm going to try something else because you weren't providing the services and you weren't keeping your word.
Yeah. Yeah. So like right now, you're in business. I would assume you're doing good in business. You're learning, you're growing, you're starting to make some money. You're rolling, you're building your team. How many people do you have on your team right now?
I have 7 employees total.
That's pretty good, bro. And so it's you plus the 7. So there's 8 of you total.
Me plus the 6.
Oh, 6. So 7 total. You're an employee of your own company, of course. That makes sense.
Yep.
That's the perfect way to do it, right? So there's 7 of you on your team, and you're growing. I think you're looking for more talent to help train and teach on the safety world, right?
Yep.
So like, what are some of the things you want to do and get into in the safety game, without giving too much away, that will separate you from your competitors?
Yeah. So our goal for the rest of the year is we're trying to find a location where we can build a safety training academy. So the mission behind that is we're going to be able to impact more construction workers in Arizona, because not everybody needs consulting services for their company, but everybody does need training. So we want to make the best training facility in Arizona where everybody has options and opportunities to get there and get the training and use real equipment, real scenarios, and have evolutions that are real life things they're going to do, instead of doing here's a PowerPoint.
Here's boring stuff.
All the boring stuff.
Those 1970 videos, bro. That why haven't you made new videos?
I'm trying,
dude. I'm down to put some money into that because those are ridiculous.
I know.
They're like almost black and white.
Yeah.
So they're sold.
The goal when you do training at all, not everybody's going to, take the information and run with it. I look at it like I want the guys to get 1 or 2 things that's going to glue to their brain that they're going to be able to implement right away. And then we can continue to build off of that.
Yeah.
But if you're watching those videos from 1970 and you think somebody's going to get some information and valuable knowledge from it, all you're doing is checking a box.
That's all it is. You're not really learning, because a lot of it's adequated like tools and processes, and like it's those should not even be those should be banned by OSHA.
They're not adding value.
No, I mean, like they show like the dude rolling a big scaffolding through some water, and like some Chinese dudes getting electrocuted or something. Like,
yeah.
I'm sure you've seen those, and it's like, really, this is from like 1970, bro. They don't even make that scaffold no more.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like our safety precautions have gone up through other regulators and stuff, in the electrical industry and all that stuff, where those videos don't even make sense anymore.
Yeah.
So like you said, it's just like, okay, I watched the video, I'm certified. They didn't learn nothing.
Check the box. So
yeah.
I think and I'm 37 years old. I'm a little bit younger in the game. I'm still young and doing the construction safety industry type work. But the observation I made is like, everybody needs to make the safety portion of it all serious and just a linear line to like, this is what we're going to try to do. And it has to be very serious. But people don't necessarily learn the best and are the most successful in those serious environments. So if you can make things fun and engaging and get people's attention, and you try to relate to them, include them in stuff instead of just hearing yourself talk the whole time, ask questions, give shirts, give prizes, you're going to get the most out of these guys, because they want to be making money. They don't want to sit there for 4 hours and train.
Yeah.
No task level worker wants to do that.
It's got to be memorable, and the fun stuff is memorable, right?
Yeah.
Did you bring shirts for everybody, bro?
No, I got shirts, but I didn't bring any today.
Oh, we'll order them, bro. Let's order them.
I got like 500 shirts laying around.
Hey, that's pretty good. That's like 500 more than me.
There you go.
What's crazy is when you said you wanted this like high level training facility, I pictured the fire academy, bro, because we used to do a lot of work for the city of Phoenix Fire Department, like all over the valley.
Yeah.
And so part of the work we would do is at their training academy on like 35th Avenue, 27th Avenue.
Lower Buckeye.
Yeah. And like they have that burning building and all that stuff over there.
Yeah.
And I picture like you having like, it just came to me. I picture like this facility and you had like all these different areas.
That's exactly where it's just common. Like that's my background is in the fire service. So it's very easy for me to pull ideas, systems and processes from there, policies and procedures from there, and then just pivot them and make them into
like imagine like you had like this area over here is like scaffolding, and then under this canopy is like this, and underneath that canopy is that, and fall protection trapeze thing over here. And
totally.
Like, dude, that's cool. That's really
hopefully it's going to be cool, man. It's going to be an awesome opportunity to really help some people and to do something a little bit different,
Well, if you haven't found a building by the end of this year, AC Dude's moving out of ours.
There you go.
So we'll have a building, bro.
There you go.
So it won't be as big as the fire department's training.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever going to be that big.
It may, you never know, right?
Yeah.
But it'll be a start.
Yeah.
Right. So you got the Safe First, and I think you're doing something else. What else are you? What other projects and businesses are you working on?
Yeah. So I have two other businesses, and the first one is we provide temp fire protection services to contractors, subcontractors, and then we also have the capabilities to manage their temporary fire protection needs during the construction phase of their process.
So is that like fire extinguishers?
Yep.
Is it purely fire extinguishers or
purely fire extinguishers, permanent wall cabinets? We could do the dwelling fire extinguishers that are required by some cities, and all of the maintenance on them.
So it's like a junior Cintas.
Junior. Yes.
That's cool though.
Yeah. So our idea behind that is that we identified a big problem when we were walking for all of these GCs that we work for. Their fire protection was lacking, and their insurance companies were coming down, hammering them. And then it was a big scramble. And, superintendents, they might be tasked and assigned to do that, but they got a million other things to do. So it's not like they don't want to do a great job. It's just pretty hard for them to manage everything else and then to do that on top of it. So one of our clients, we presented it to them. We're like, hey, we could do this for you. No problem. Not a big deal. And they're like, dude, that would be amazing if you can help us out. And we had a great success. Like, they didn't get hit one time by their insurance company when the builder's risk guys were walking the job. Everything went really well. So we talked about it, and we're like, man, why don't we just start looking for like a national distributor that we can sign up with, so we don't have to do anything local through here where we're buying the upmark. So we have to charge more money to provide this service.
Yeah.
And since then, I think we're servicing probably like 15 jobs right now with that.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
That's real good. And so are you putting the permanent ones on there as well that stay part of the job site?
Yeah. So we have some of our clients, we don't even do any consulting for. We only do the temp fire protection and then the permanent fire extinguishers in their dweller, in the units.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's been really cool.
So you're giving them the cabinet and the fire extinguisher.
Yep.
And then are you doing the hoses as well?
No, we don't do any of that, but we can. I mean, if they want to string hoses on the fire extinguishers.
Do they still do that stuff?
Some jobs do, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know, but all the older buildings, they used to put the hoses and,
Yeah.
And so, like, do you guys refill the fire extinguishers as well?
Yep. One of our guys got the certification to do everything.
So do you do that? Like, do you gotta ship them out? What do you do? Like, how do you do
we
that?
just drop them off locally
and just get them filled
and get them filled.
So you're servicing the customer, you're doing all the work.
Yeah.
Go drop them back off to the customer or whatever.
Yep. So it's been a good opportunity. The next thing is that we provide temp security monitoring on construction sites.
I love that.
Yeah, solar power.
Dude, you should have monitored my house, bro.
I was monitoring your house, dude.
You're driving by it every day.
I was shutting that gate when I saw it wide open. That was before you and I ever talked.
You said I was monitoring it because you drive by there like every day or something.
6, 7, 8 times a day I drive by your house.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
And then there'd be sometimes we'd be coming back from football at night, and I would see the front gate because you had a perimeter fence on the house.
Yeah.
It would be wide open, and I would just go ahead and shut it so nobody would walk in there.
That's funny how there's still my plumbing.
Yeah. I was like, it's not a big deal to shut this
thing. See? Hey, that's how God works. He's protecting me. I had the security camera dude watching my house, literally.
Yeah, and I never told you. I was just like, I'll just do it. It's all good.
Dude, that's amazing. So how's that one going? Like, so security cameras, and then is that like I went into Lowe's and then I went across the street to Home Depot. They both had these security cameras. I was like, dang, what's going on here? Everybody's still in over here or something.
Yeah, so
They both have these things.
so theft on a job site is a huge issue, and it's been getting worse and worse every year that we've been doing the safety consulting on the jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So I identified another thing that needed to be done. There is monitoring and security companies in Arizona. There's maybe like 4 or 5 of them that provide the services. And I wanted to build a superior product that was going to actually do its job instead of just like checking the box.
Yeah.
So ours are a little bit different. Obviously, I'm not going to like give too much detail, but
Yeah.
we have 4 cameras on each of our towers, and typically they only have 2 cameras on there, so they're just guarding only the perimeter.
You're
of
catching
the
all
job
4,
site.
front, back, side to side.
Yeah, so we had some kids. We didn't know they were kids at the time, but they broke into one of our job sites, and the monitoring company basically told them like, hey, our cameras are pointing to exactly where they're at. So PD went right in there, was able to kind of barricade them in, and they finally gave up and turned themselves in.
Yeah, because you're catching all angles almost.
All angles, yeah.
Yeah. And that's like a tower. The same thing, a tower
It's
deal.
a tower, yeah. So they're 18 feet tall towers. We paint them bright colors. There's a PA system on there, so if somebody's going to start trying to even access the job site, that thing will go off and tell you, hey, you're trespassing. PD is going to be called if you don't, remove yourself from the area.
Yeah. So you're painting them bright colors so they see it, kind of deterrent type thing at first.
Yeah, we try to do a deterrent before we do anything else, obviously.
Is that like a drag along, like towing trailer type thing?
So we have a few of the towing ones, and we use those if we need a quick deployment one. So like if somebody calls and like, hey, we need a tower, we can bring those out. The job sites, we built them a little bit more industrial, where you have to drop them on a forklift in their spot, so people don't try to
Steal them,
steal
break
'em,
them, or
break 'em,
run them
whatever.
over. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think we hit one on a job site. It
Yeah.
cost us a few bucks.
Please don't hit mine. We don't got a few bucks to fix it.
Yeah. How many of those do you have set up right now?
30.
Really?
30.
That's
Yeah.
good, dude.
Yeah, it's good. And this has been a few year project, man. And we just launched it like 5 months ago, 6 months ago.
Bro, you need a partner, bro.
We need a bunch of stuff.
Okay. So you got 3 companies. That's pretty impressive. And all in the same world, safety. The fireman safety.
There you go.
And so like you're doing safety, you're fit. What are you doing for fitness these days?
So I train jujitsu, and
We know you're doing what I'm not doing. That's for sure.
And I lift weights. That's what I do. Yeah. So I stick to I think just like you're joking, like every entrepreneur, you have to have your routines and rituals to be successful. And one of my things that I'm committed to every day is some type of exercise.
That's good. So I'm gonna have a small gym, bro, at the house.
We're gonna work out together.
We're gonna. So I think. What do you think? I was gonna buy this. I think it's called Tono. It's a screen, like a big TV screen, and it has arms. Have you seen those?
Nuh-uh.
And so it does resist. It's literally like automated. Like he's pulling it up. It's Tonal. Tonal. Tonal.
Oh, the smartest home gym. There it is. Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
Where's it at? Yeah. See that? So like that thing. So I don't plan on getting like super buff, but I do got to get in shape because I'm like 40, 50 pounds overweight.
Well, that'll be a great start.
Yeah, and it's super slim. I have enough room to put like a big piece in there, but so that thing hooks up to the internet, right? And then I think it has up to 200 pounds resistance. That's all I need, bro. I'm like,
but it has a trainer on there for you.
yeah, I can do like, so say I don't lift nothing, I can do like aerobics, or my wife can do the aerobics, or the kids can.
I like it.
So then I have like some dumbbells. I'm gonna get me like a really nice elliptical, like some nice stuff.
Yeah,
because I have cheap stuff. I haven't done it in a couple years. So like it's pretty neat, dude, because like you set it up to different exercises, different, if I want to do like curls and 40 pounds or
Yeah.
80 pounds or whatever. Or so we could set all that, and it's super slim, bro.
Yeah, that thing looks awesome.
So, and and I could pay for it, and I can, so maybe I'll have you come to the house, bro, and like get me set up,
We'll work out together.
like show me some techniques, because I haven't done it for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would be happy to. That'd be fun.
Yeah, and then we could probably like, yeah, I'm gonna get like a little punching thing. I got a little dude. I'm pretty good like with my hands.
Yeah.
I'm not that good as like I used to, but I was thinking of getting something really cool, a cool piece. There's this really cool piece that's just like a single. You know what a double end bag is?
Mm-hmm.
The string on top and bottom. Well, this is like a single one, but it's like a automated one. It's really cool. So I'll probably buy one of those so I can still punch. But yeah, I'll have you come over and we'll work out, and you can kind of get me like launched and stuff.
There you go.
Burn some fat, bro.
Let's do it.
I gotta live longer,
You got to take care of yourself
dude. I like we gotta hit at least 100, 150 years old,
at a minimum.
bro. Moses, how old was Moses?
How old was he? I don't know.
I don't know, 3, 4, 5. I don't even know. He is old, bro.
Super old.
If we can hit like a third of that, I think we're in good shape.
I think so.
So it starts now.
It starts today.
It starts today,
It
guys.
starts
Get
today.
your gym.
Yeah.
No. So you got the 3 businesses. You know, you grew up in North Central Phoenix type thing. You know, you're married, right?
Yep. Married. I got 3 kids.
3 kids. So you got dad life.
Dad life, husband life.
Yeah. And how's that like integrating family with business? Is that a challenge for you, or is that easy? Or tell me a little bit about that.
So I have a hard time balancing anything. So if I do something, I'm going to go 100%.
Yeah.
And it's always at the expense of my family. So
that's for a lot of people, bro.
and it's like, it's at the expense of my wife more than anybody else. But it's been the biggest blessing in the world once I resigned from the fire department, because the very first thing I did was I signed up to coach my kids' football team. I stopped missing games. I stopped missing functions. I was there when I needed to be there.
Yeah.
And that just helped everything so much in the household. And it's been a blessing for that. But the biggest thing that it's done is like, I can focus on one thing, be all in, and get everything I need to do on my priority list for the day. And then I could have family time, and I'm not like stressing or worried about things because I'm falling behind on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a huge thing. What you said is like being an entrepreneur, and, you know, getting your like your your routine set and all that stuff is, what people don't understand is it allows you some free time when you need it.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't always take it, right? But like you said, is I got to dip out, leave the job site or whatever.
Yeah.
Go to the kids' game or a school presentation. You can dip out, go to that, and dip back.
Yeah.
Go back to work. If with a job, you can't do that.
No.
Like you're kind of just like, especially at the fire department, like you're what 24
hours on, 48 hours off.
Yeah, and so those 24 hours, like there's no dipping out to the kids, nothing.
No. So you leave, you take vacation time, and then like the other thing, like you leave your crew short.
Yeah.
You know, so if you have a serious medical emergency, you have a fire, you have something where you need all the manpower you have, and then now you're short, you're letting your team down.
Yeah, and then they start looking at you sideways.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to make a good life for your family.
And like, this dude's worthless.
Yeah.
You know, he's never here when we need him to be here.
No, yeah, that's what I told Antonio. Antonio, you hear me, bro? Don't miss days.
Don't miss days. Hey, so the big thing like about being a team at home, my wife and I are a team, and my guys that we work with on a daily basis, like we're a team. So if I need something, they need something. And that's something everybody can learn. Like, it's not just when you say you're a team. I'm not just a team for my family or for my employees, but we're a team to all of our clients. And we want to really fulfill that role with whatever we need to do to be successful, we will. Like, we're on a group thread all day long together. And if somebody could pick something up for somebody or help somebody out or go cover an inspection for them because some training went long, like, it's a huge success, and it makes our clients' services better, and it makes our delivery model better. And it's just been a huge, you know, when I was by myself, I just ran around all day, like trying to survive, and I was barely floating.
Mm-hmm.
And now when you have guys that want to do a good job, who bought into what the beliefs are and what our missions are, it makes the team successful, and it makes it easier to do things.
And I'm sure they're getting paid well.
Yeah, my number one thing is I want to take care of my employees, man. I want them to be able to provide for their families and live a comfortable life and not stress about that stuff.
So, what are some things that you're working on that's coming up?
So the biggest thing for us is that we have new employees that we onboarded right now. So we want to make sure that they're comfortable and dialed in the field. But as far as business stuff goes, we're going to try to roll out all of our own stuff. So we're having graphic designers, make a Rolodex of toolbox topics for our clients. We're transitioning to everything to do all electronic stuff. So no more paper is going to be in the field. So my guys have iPads. We have all of that stuff set up for the training signature sheets, the videos, all of the access that we need for the guys so we can deliver service at a higher level and make it a little bit easier for everybody if they need something. Like if one of your guys like, hey, I need scissor lift training, my guy has an iPad, we have training on there, we have signature sheet on there, he's able to conduct the training, we'll get it done with right away so we can execute stuff. You and I talked about it last time I was here. We got a high dollar card printer for legit certification cards we're rolling out. So we're still messing with like the kind of the back end stuff on that stuff. But we're going to roll that out, and we're trying to make a system. It would be great if we can make an app where we can keep track of all of the training off of a QR code for each employee with one of our clients that we work with.
Let's look at that. Yeah, I know someone that makes apps, but maybe I can help you find something. So, and then when did you start doing the iPad thing? Is that new too, or have you been doing that?
That's this year. That's
good. Yeah, I like that you're adding new things to the repertoire. Like some people just they're okay with what they're doing, like they're successful, but it's like it's cool you're successful, but people pass you up eventually, and time passes. It's kind of like fighting. We watched the fight in UFC, right?
Yeah.
All these dudes are like great for like 4 or 5 years, and next thing you know, everyone caught him, and that dude's not great no more.
Yeah.
Or chick or whatever, right?
Dude, so
it's the same thing in business.
Same thing in business. Like, I look at it like, I do these things. My sport is I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a small business owner, and I need to be able to perform at a high level. So one of my rules, and I always advise everybody this, and it's not like I'm giving advice to a bunch of people, but if you start a business, when you make money, you need to reinvest into your business as much and as frequently as possible instead of like trying to buy nice things or hoard the money. Pay your employees well. Always try to improve what your business is, whether it's systems and processes or it's tools and equipment or it's whatever you need to do for your business to be more successful.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's something we did here with Extreme. It's like I always just invested back into the business. For years we didn't really pay ourselves. But we bought a building, then we bought the second building, and and then it was like, okay, what do we need? We need the team wants new tools, or we got to buy, going on a new job site, we got to buy 50 new harnesses or whatever, and rather than be that cheap, business owner or whatever, it's like, let's invest back in it. I can wait on a trip or, whatever, it's like the team's taken care of, the company's taken care of, and it's the culture, like you said, like, I think and what you're doing right now, it's not only good for the company, but it's really good for like the team, because they recognize like, hey, we got a good boss in Brandon. Like he's investing back into the team, into the processes, because I'm sure you probably know, like when something doesn't work out right, they get frustrated.
Yeah.
Like, man, this doesn't work, or I'm tired of doing it this way. We've always done it this way, or whatever. Right. And you're trying to reinvent those things and come up with new processes.
Yeah.
And that shows like good faith to your team. Like, hey guys, we're going to grow no matter what. Sometimes it's not as fast, but we're growing, we're making that effort. You know what I mean? So I really like that you're doing that.
So there's two things on that like the biggest takeaways that I always think of is, one, we're talking about like entrepreneurship. You have to be able to suffer delayed gratification when you're an entrepreneur. So if you think the money you make this month is going to last you for a while and you're going to spend it all, it's not. But I look at the investments and taking care of the employees and like taking care of my team and trying to always update our systems and processes as almost an infinite return on investment, because you don't know when it's going to come of that down the road in 12 or 24 or 48 months. You know what I mean? So I don't look at anything like that besides it's delayed gratification. And that's in any part of your life. You just have to be able to make the entrepreneur side of your life and understand, like, you might make a little bit of money this month, but put it back into your business. So you're going to have a better ROI in the long run than short-term success.
Yeah. So, like as you're learning, and you're growing the business, when you start doing your taxes and stuff, they're going to tell you there's a few things that are very important, right? One is, your net profit, but the other one is your balance sheet. So your balance sheet, in order to get your balance sheet up, it's building your assets, what the actual business is worth. And the only way to build your balance sheet and your business is by putting back into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to teach people that. So I like it. So before we end this, what would be one thing you would say to that young person out there, whether they have a job or they're starting a business, whether it's safety, construction, or anything? What would be that one piece of advice coming from you to them, to the audience?
Yeah. So I'll give you two parts of the piece of advice. The very first part of the advice is relationships are one of the foundational principles of success in life. When you build relationships, the second part of that is you need to be able to give and give and give and never expect anything in return. You need to give because you want to be a generous person, and it's just part of who you are. So once you establish relationships in the business world and you're an entrepreneur, just keep sowing the seeds. You know what I mean? Keep making sure that those people, and you're the one who taught me about that, flourish those relationships, and then just don't expect anything in return. And then eventually, by you being generous and you having great relationships, it'll eventually all come back in circle to pay off.
Well, there you have it, guys. So build relationships, the foundation. Keep that foundation of relationships. Give, give, give. I want to thank you, Brandon, for coming.
Hey, thank you for having me.
And for everybody out there, be blessed.